Are you a leader within a company or an organization and you lead Zoom meetings, but you so often struggle because they're boring, disconnected, and de energizing? Well, there's one key misunderstood reason why our Zoom meetings aren't working. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the reason Zoom meetings are often terrible and 3 simple ideas that you could start tomorrow about how to make your meetings better. My name is Josh Friberg, and I am an Xchange certified guide. I specialize in creating deep human connection in speed and scale. And I've been involved in thousands of hours of Zoom gatherings from small groups to large groups since 2017. And in that time, I've learned some of the best practices to creating really meaningful, productive, and effective Zoom gatherings. So if you're into that, would love for you to take a second and subscribe to this channel and like this video if you like this video. So what is this key misunderstanding that I referenced about why so many of our Zoom meetings just don't go great? It really comes down to this one kind of fundamental issue, which is that we've approached a question with the kind of the wrong leadership model or the wrong lens. When what happened is that we started asking the question, how could we gather at the same time in a synchronous way when we're not all in the same place, right? How can we gather when we're all over, whether we're all over the county or all over the building or all over the world? And so we approached it as a technical problem to be solved, and we applied technical leadership to it. But what we could have done though, is actually took it as an adaptive challenge. And so I'm going to share with you what that means. When we approached it as a technical problem or a technological problem, we simply asked the question, how could we get our cameras, our microphones to work? How could we get the bits of information to move all over the interwebs, right? So that we could speak in unison. How might we lay out the boxes so that I can see the faces? Oh, well, now it's like maybe if we want to chat and have a side conversation, like passing notes during an in-person meeting. We started asking the technical questions about gathering. But what we've been learning and what we do at Xchange and what I've been doing in my Zoom meetings is asking a more human question, which is how do we connect humans at a human level utilizing the technology we have available to us with something like Zoom. And so my encouragement would be, first and foremost, before you do anything else, is think about how you think about meeting. What's important within this meeting, and not just, hey, we need to do a task, right? We need to talk about sales figures from Q1 and sales goals from Q2. Yeah, those are super important, but they are secondary to the humans in the room. They are secondary to the relationships that are possible, right? And so this is how we need to fundamentally shift how we think about our meetings, is not just the logistics, the mechanics, the technology, but actually think about humans gathering. This is what we often call conscious convening, but it's a way of bringing people together that is very conscious, that is very human, is very aware. But don't get me wrong, I still want you to get some stuff done. And the way to do that is to actually be, and this is the first tip I want to give you, is be more human in your meetings. How can we do that? You can start very simply by thinking about something like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? What is it that people want? First and foremost, they want to be physically safe. They want to make sure there's no tigers in the bushes, that they've got food, water, shelter. Okay, well, you're probably not going to take care of food, water, shelter in your meetings, but what you are going to do is what's next, which is create a sense of belonging, a sense of psychological safety so that people feel like they actually belong to something. Is that what you typically feel when you go to a Zoom meeting? Wow, this is a place where I really belong. No, because we use Zoom meetings to just get a task done. Instead, if we can actually create a sense of belonging, what is technically called psychological safety for folks, that they are invited into the meeting, that they are part of something bigger than themselves, right? They create a sense of belonging, and maybe even adding the next layer on the cake, maybe even add a sense of purpose, of significance. Why does this not happen more often? Because typically we're just following a schedule. This is information that we want to convey. That's our primary goal, or this is a task we need to get completed. Listen, you can get to the information, you can get to the task after you've set the groundwork of creating a place where people have a sense of belonging and where people are invited to lean into their own personal sense of significance and purpose. So first tip, make your meetings more human. And using the hierarchy of needs, a great place to start. There's a second tip, and this is really like super important, super fundamental to the idea of Zoom. Like, why are we getting together with people? Well, it should be so that we can both see and be seen, so we can both hear and be heard. Which means, and this is the second tip, make sure we're taking time to listen to every voice. Listen to every voice. Well, what does that mean, right? It means that we shouldn't just be broadcasting at people. If we wanted to do that, please just record a video and send it out for folks to watch, right? This is a way of handling the fact that we're not all in the same place at the same time. But guess what? It also allows you to be asynchronous. It allows people to watch it when it's convenient within their work time, right? If all you want to do is convey information, broadcast is the way to do that, right? Either send it out as a recording or let people know this is going to be a broadcast. But if we're actually asking people to gather, invite questions that elicit a response. Create opportunities for people to connect in small groups using breakout functions that are available in platforms like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Right? Allow people to actually see and be seen, hear and be heard, to give and receive. This is how we can actually listen to everyone. Now, one quick way to know that you're not doing this well, or that you have an opportunity to create more of this, is if you notice a lot of cameras are off, a lot of microphones are muted. All right, now you may need to mute microphones just for sake of being able to hear and being able to maintain order within a gathering. But if microphones are never coming off mute, it means we haven't invited people to participate fully yet. And so what we want to do is create a space where it's actually easier to participate than to just sit back passively. Where it actually becomes people would prefer to pull their car over and be fully engaged in the meeting than to continue to their destination or go through the Burger King drive-thru while they're on the gathering with you. Right? Well, how do we do that? We ask meaningful questions. We invite people to bring their knowledge, intelligence, and genius towards the task at hand, the problem at hand, right? Or if we are just conveying information, are we also inviting feedback, improvements, changes from our people? If you're trying to put a meeting together where everybody is gathered in different places but at the same time, I think the only reason you should be doing it is because you want to hear from them as well as speak with them. So that's the second tip. Make sure that you are listening to every voice. And the third one, and maybe this is just me, I don't know, but I think it's something to pay attention to, is avoid gimmicks. Avoid gimmicks, right? Games for the sake of games is kind of just frivolous. It actually, if you're dealing particularly in a work environment, people are going to be more often bothered and resentful of it. Like, I have stuff to do. My time is valuable to me. My time at home, my family is important to me. I protect that by making sure that I get my work done at work. And then we're coming in here and playing a game that's just sort of silly or frivolous. People are going to resent that. Now, I'm not saying don't do things that are gamified. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't have things like music that you play or encouraging people to engage physically. Maybe you will do a little micro dance party to bring the energy up. Just make sure that you're doing it with purpose and intention. Because what people crave more than anything is real human experience. Now I struggle with this because as an extrovert, I kind of like some of the gamey stuff. I like some of the silly stuff, and you have to dial it down because people didn't come for a dance party, right? They came to learn something. They came to engage in an important problem. They came to bring their skills, their life energy to something that has meaning and purpose. So avoid gimmicks. And this is really tricky, right? Because again, the technology companies are responding to what people ask for and then they're just delivering on it. So, but just because the Zoom platform or Microsoft Teams can do something doesn't mean you should do something, right? Now, I like using the emojis and reactions to give people an opportunity to participate, but we want to do that real judiciously. We want to be careful with our use of it to make sure we haven't crossed the line into gimmicks, right? If we're going to do something to connect people, make sure that it's not just done in sort of the party game way. Make sure it's done along the direction of the purpose of the meeting, the purpose of why these people are gathered. These are going to make your meetings, honestly, so much more energizing, so much more connected, exciting meetings that people want to come to. Not only that, they're going to be meetings that are more productive, more meaningful and significant, and actually help people solve the problems you're working on and get their work done. Fundamentally, look at this as an adaptive challenge, one that we are leading people by helping them become the people they need to be to face the challenges of the future, and not just a technological problem to be solved. Hey, how do we gather people in boxes on our computers? No. We gather humans in a deeply human way, leveraging a technology available to us to allow us to not only see each other, to hear each other, to communicate through typing, to share visuals, to share our physical environments with one another. These are all things that are possible within Zoom that just don't happen the same way on a group phone call, that don't happen the same way, honestly, even in person. There's some cool ways that we can leverage Zoom even better than what we can do in person. Let's take advantage of that. And this is a way that you can make your meetings more exciting, more connected, and more productive. Hey, if you'd like more information about this, please subscribe to this channel, watch some more videos. We're going to be talking a lot about Zoom in the near future. It really is the gathering of the future that supplements the in-person meeting really well. We need to improve our Zoom meetings, and together we can do that.